In the hot seat.
If the ideology is motivating violence and it violates federal law, we're coming after it.
For the first time since the Capitol attack, the FBI director faces questions from Congress. Flown back to Florida.
It has been long awaited and highly anticipated.
It's a return trip for a nurse who was left paralyzed by a COVID complication. And Sunshine State Assist.
We did about 40 houses while we were there.
How plumbers from Florida ended up helping after the big freeze in Texas. It's all coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello South Florida, I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is March 3rd, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Special Agents Laura Schwarzenberger and Dana Alfin sacrificed their lives that day, like far too many of our law enforcement brethren also killed in the line of duty. Their ultimate sacrifice was not in vain. It was to protect the American people, it was to protect each of us.
In an unscheduled announcement while testifying on Capitol Hill, the FBI director honored two fallen South Florida agents who died serving a warrant last month in Sunrise, Florida. His scheduled testimony was about the January 6th Capitol riot. Christopher Wray rejected false rumors that left-wing extremists were dressed as Trump supporters, and he insisted that the FBI was committed to the fight.
We don't care whether it's left, right, up, down, diagonal, or any other way. If the ideology is motivating violence and it violates federal law, we're coming after it.
Outside the Capitol, razor wire came down yesterday. For the first time since the attack's aftermath, there are hundreds of open investigations and hundreds have already been arrested. A Florida nurse is back home after he was paralyzed by an unusual infection. Desmond Silva got COVID-19 last summer and quickly recovered at his home near Tampa, and then he got an infection and doctors say it was COVID related. He was flown to Boston for treatment and yesterday got his return trip to the Sunshine State to continue his recovery.
It has been long awaited and highly anticipated.
To see Desmond happy again, being back in Florida is everything to him. He misses his friends, his family, so.
Doctors are unsure whether Desmond will be on his feet soon, but his family hopes of a speedy recovery. Instacart stock has more than doubled in its value since the pandemic. The company is now valued at a staggering $39 billion, crediting the pandemic as one of the reasons for the boost. Instacart's CEO says that the past year has created a new normal and has changed the way people shop for goods and groceries. Broadway has gone dark because of COVID, but for American stage actors, there is a light shining in the land down under. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Thousands of dollars, and Mom didn't have that.
Last month's ice storm in Texas created a major problem, and the plumbers who answered the call are from right here in South Florida. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love. Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
A group of Florida plumbers making a house call, but the house they headed to is 2,000 miles away in Houston, Texas. They're from Cocoa Beach, and they provided much-needed help after the Texas freeze, fixing the pipers of an elderly woman without charging her a dime.
How are
Thank you
you?
so much from the bottom of our hearts. My mom thanks you.
I thank you. You did a
Oh, she's-
wonderful job.
It hit them bad, so everything, all the pipes are split right in half. I mean, we did about 40 houses while we were there.
The homeowner's church pastor put out the call for help. There are many other people and homes impacted by the freeze, but it will take the kindness and generosity of others to help the community repair after the damage. Here in America, the lights on Broadway stay dark, but halfway around the world, U.S. actors have found another place to perform live. As Will Ripley from our news partner CNN reports, they've taken their talents to Australia.
The brilliant lights of Broadway, dark for almost a year. New York's iconic theaters empty, likely for many months to come. Nearly 10,000 miles away in Sydney, Australia, the show goes on. Kismet, created by Broadway performer Reed Kelly and Australian acrobat Jack Dawson, the aerial straps duo 2 Fathoms.
Right now, this is really the only place that both of us can be and do what we do. You good?
What they do takes hours of daily practice, discipline, athleticism, sacrifice.
I'm away from my family. I'm not at home. I don't get to see my husband. We FaceTime every day, and but it's been such a challenge. I'm good. How's your day?
Kelly's husband, a doctor in Los Angeles.
How's your day?
They've been apart for almost a year. If Kelly leaves Australia, his visa won't allow him to return. Sydney, one of the only places in the world where theaters have reopened.
We seem to be doing really well. We're really grateful to be here where everything seems to be really under control.
Broadway star Gabrielle McClinton just returned to the U.S. She spent months in Australia as the lead player in Pippin. The Tony Award-winning Broadway musical was a smash hit in Sydney.
Does that give you hope about Broadway?
Absolutely. It definitely had its challenges, but we got through the season and people came to the show wearing their masks, and we would get COVID tested every week. And when we were on stage, we were in our masks and everybody obeyed all the rules, and we did our due diligence when we were outside of the theater to make sure that we weren't putting people at risk.
A model for reopening Broadway and beyond, says Australian playwright Tom Wright.
You need political and social leadership to provide a safe set of circumstances for theatre to reopen.
Sydney's Belvoir Street Theatre has been open for 5 months. Strict COVID-19 lockdowns worked, virtually eliminating local cases.
The reason why Sydney has been able to reopen is because people at local, state and federal level took seriously the safety of the most vulnerable people in their society, and we're a reflection of that.
The pandemic's devastating toll goes beyond empty theaters. Artists around the world are struggling.
I've lost 3 people this year to suicide, and that's on top of the people that I know that have actually died from COVID. It's not just a job for us. This is our lives.
We want to do this and we need to keep doing this, so we're just pushing through and hope for better days.
Giving hope to performers everywhere. Their future remains up in the air. Will Ripley, CNN.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.